friends, it's Em and welcome back to another video. I am well aware that it is the middle of July, 2/3 of the way through July, and I'm just now uploading my July bullet journal video. My mental health is in unprecedented times, let's just put it that way. But we're here. This layout was honestly too cute to not post, but I'm also trying to sort of get into a more consistent vibe with it, I suppose. I have had this filmed since the beginning of July, as well as, the next video that I upload, which is probably going to be my June wrap-up. And it just kind of got away from me, and that's totally fine. We are using the Art Journal of Kit Club to do a really cute berry picking theme. This was their June Kit Club, and I've been holding on to it because I knew in my heart of hearts that it was going to be perfect for this. And I like to think that I was right. This little berry sort of seed packet, I think it would have been really cute for me to have put my TBR in there. But honestly, this month, so this month's TBR is very large, I will say, and slightly different than how I usually do it. Normally, I like to do it in the center of the page with like lettering for every little piece of it. And one of the calligraphs that I was using, the end of it was just completely dried up. I don't know how, I do know why. I don't think I clicked it in all the way. And so, that's my fault. But it did mean that I couldn't do it how I usually do, and so we pivoted. And I do like what I did, where it's all on one page. I can see everything all at once, and we'll get there, right? We'll get there. But another thing, which is just huge to me, is where my NetGalley is right now. You won't believe it. It's at the second that I'm saying this, it is at 97%. Okay, that is bananas, not berries. I mean, the theme is now changed to bananas. But I really like it. I really do. I've done 2 buddy reads with my mom this month. It has not been a very heavy buddy read month, but we did The Drowning Woman by Robin Harding, and then we did Come and Get It by Kylie Reed. And I think our next one is going to be The Haters, or The Hater, also by Robin Harding, which just came out, because I feel like my mom and I are getting into kind of a thriller vibe. That's what we've been reading together. I might also suggest the new Claire Pooley book, How to Age Disgracefully, just because I've never read a book by her that I've disliked. Like, literally all of her books have been 5 stars for me. Also, I've been declined for all of them on NetGalley. No rhyme or reason there. But it's also, she writes a lot of books about aging and being older, and I think that, that'll be probably good. I don't want to read steamy, spicy smut with my mom. It's just not the vibe. So it does, a lot of the books that I do have are romance, and that kind of puts it a slight damper on a few of the genres. We also have been sticking mostly to adult genre. I was thinking about, there was this series that we used to read when I was younger. It became a series. It wasn't initially a series, but it was called Chasing Vermeer, which was about like this whole art fraud theft thing, and it was really fun. There were lots of puzzles in it, and apparently there are 3 more books in that series, which I'm interested in reading. I don't know if my mom is, because I don't know. I just don't know. But this is the best time to introduce to you the Libro FM audiobook challenge that they're running. It runs from July 16th through the 26th, and all you have to do is A, be a member of Libro FM, which they're running a deal right now where you can use, I think, the code Prime Day, and you essentially get 3 credits for the price of 1, which is pretty sick. But all you have to do is participate, period. Like, if you listen for 1 hour and you submit your audiobook log to them, so they have like a little blog with the form they want you to submit. If you listen for 1 hour, you get a free audiobook credit, period. That's it. Like, it's their way of getting you interested in audiobooks and sort of liking their platform and all of the nice things that they do for indie bookstores. But they also have higher levels where, you know, it's not a participation guarantee. So like, I've submitted already for the bronze level, which is reading, I think, 10 hours. And as the hours increase, you get entered into giveaways for prizes. Now, I am a Libro FM affiliate. They're not paying me to say this. I wish they were, but they're not. And so I do have a link in the description that'll link you to Libro FM. If I remember, I'll also link you to the reading challenge itself so that it's a little bit easier for you. But the whole point here is that, you know, this is an audiobook service that goes and actually benefits independent booksellers rather than something like Amazon, which is actively forcing them out of business. So that's kind of my little stance on this. I also really like the gingham effect that I made here, which is, it's really just like thin lines and thick lines with this brush marker. It's not difficult in any way, shape, or form, but I like it. I thought it was really cute. I also am in love with the gingham paper that came with this kit club. It's just everything, literally everything. And I think that, so in this next month for August, I already have a theme in mind. I almost want to go and try doing a month without paper. Just because I've been doing paper themes for so long that I feel like I'm kind of, I don't know, leaning on them a little too hard. And so like the design elements end up maybe a little lacking or kind of repetitive. Now, that could also be chalked up to having like a style or whatever now. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. Do you think that I should do next month without paper? Or should I really just go hard and kind of try to use the paper in a different way? Let me know. I really do. I don't know. I feel like this month I was stretching my creative limits a little bit, trying to have that sort of collage-y element, but, you know, not have it just be empty space. Of course, part of that is going to be I need to fill up the space with, like, buddy reads and things I review on NetGalley. But, you know, on the other hand, it's good that there is space to write, because I know that if there wasn't, I'd be upset. So it's really just, like, you gotta pick your poison. Like, in some way, shape, or form, I'm not going to be happy either way. So, I don't know. Let's get into the TBR a little bit though, because it's a big one. I can tell you that I feel like usually throughout the month I will have already met a lot, and this month not so much. So a lot of these are books that have like very recently come out in July. So if you're looking for a cute little book to put on your hold list at your library, that might be the time. This might be the time to do so. Starting with The Confidence Games. So this, I love a heist book. I really do. And Berkeley has been doing a bunch of heisty, spy-y books lately. And so that's why I requested this one. It's by Tess Amy. I just finished it literally yesterday. And I enjoyed it. If you ever watched Leverage, the TV show, it'll give you a lot of similar vibes there, which I quite enjoyed. I also read The Blonde Dies First by Joelle Wellington, I think it is. And so she wrote These Vicious Games, which I absolutely loved, devoured. It was fabulous. This is a little bit of a different vein, because before, where it was kind of like a dark academia horror thriller, this is really like straight up slasher horror demons sort of vibe. And I dug it. I really did. I think that I got just a little bit distracted when I was listening to it on audio, and that led to me missing some of the foreshadowing or some of the details about the demon and like how it works. But overall, I still really enjoyed it. I also read. I know I'm doing a little bit of my July recap now, but it's just kind of how it's going. The Undermining of Twyla and Frank. If you liked The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy, this is definitely one for you. If you haven't read that one, you can get away with reading this one. They're like semi-connected standalones. The only real connection is that they go to their wedding. That's it. But it's got dragons, it's got friends to lovers, it is a vibe. There's also The Lost Story by Meg Schaefer, I think it is. And that one is more kind of reminiscent of Narnia. I would liken it to being similar to Bridge to Terabithia, except no one dies. So without the sad part. But it does do her sort of magical realism, very whimsical and kind of similar to her first book, but there are some deeper adult themes in it. There's also The Design of Us by Sajni Patel, which is a fake dating, enemies to lovers Hawaiian vacation. And while I wasn't the hugest fan of this book, I know that a lot of people were, and I think it might be a case of like wrong time for reading it. I think I was still in my post the pairing slump, and it just wasn't hitting. But would I reread it? Maybe. I would consider it, honestly. Also on this list is Voyage of the Damned, which is like a fantasy murder mystery with just a bunch of political intrigue. It's really nice. It's definitely, I feel like it leans a little bit more YA than adult, but it was fun. I enjoyed myself. It was a little long, but still fun. Also, next on the list is Slow Dance by Rainbow Rowell, who is a Nebraska author. I have been reading her books since I was younger, and I love her. And this book, it tells you from the beginning, it is a slow dance. It's slow. It burns. It is the slowest of burns. I did this on audio, and again, really enjoyed it. But if you are looking for like a romance, this is not it. This is more like a drama, contemporary sort of vibe. I also read The Fiancé Dilemma by Elena Armas, which I liked her previous books. I did. This one just didn't hit for me, and I don't know what it is. Whether like it's just, I'm slumping, or if it's something else. Something to do with like the pacing and the length of the book just wasn't hitting for me. But, that's it. Everything else on this TBR I have not read, but I am very excited about. So, there's All This and More by Peng Shepherd. And I've heard that this is kind of like a choose your own adventure book, but I have it on audio, and that's the part that I'm a little bit worried about. And like, how am I going to be able to just jump between chapters? I can use the chapter feature in Libro.fm, so maybe that's just the answer, but we shall see. There's also Castle of the Cursed by Romina Garber, who I loved her Lobizonas series. This, I honestly could not tell you what it's about. I can't remember if it's like a vampire or a werewolf. There's definitely a castle, because it's in the title. But it's definitely going to be some kind of fantasy YA, maybe a little thriller, maybe a little horror. I'm excited. I also really want to read These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I have her newest arc, which I think is like Vilest Things, maybe. And I always just wanted to read this book and I never did. And now I'm going to be buddy reading it with my friend Haley, and once her hold gets in, we're going to get there. Other sort of thrillers on the list, because it's summer thriller season, I suppose, is Till Death Do Us Part, which I think is by Laurie Elizabeth Flynn. I liked her The Girls Are All So Nice Here. I remember I had some kind of issue with it, but I don't remember what it was. So I'm just throwing caution to the wind. I'm going to read it, and I'm excited. There's also The Unraveling, which I got in my Aardvark box. And this is supposed to be a psychological thriller, which I'm very excited for. Just because, like, it's a little creepy stalker situation, which I always like to read. I hope never happens to me, all right? And that's about it for my TBR. I'm also not making a review spread this month, or at least I haven't sort of pre-made it. I think part of that is because I didn't know how much I was going to be reading, honestly. So I did make a book mail page because I was hoping that maybe I would get some books in the mail because it was my birthday. But we are going into the final flip through. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and hit the like button if you want to see more of my videos. Comment down below what you're currently reading. And as always, happy planning.